Happy New Year everyone and welcome to the conference. We've got a pretty amazing lineup this time featuring talks from getting started to security, tools and culture. Without further ado, let's dive straight into Conf42 Python 2022. The conference was made possible by Cockroach Labs and Microsoft, gold sponsors, silver sponsors, and media partners. We opened the conference with a keynote by Leander, developer advocate at Cockroach Labs. Regress to progress, a child's mindset for growth.
On the road to conquering the world, you need to regress or get in touch with your inner child to make progress. I know what you're thinking right now. Do I want to conquer the world? Of course you do. And now you might be thinking, but my inner child is pretty messed up. Totally fair. Mine too. But your inner child is also incredibly wise. They know how to fall down and get back up, how to be brave, how to play, and how to explore and be curious. Today, I would like you to use a child's mindset for growth, to embrace your inner child, to become the beautiful unicorn I know you are, and yes, to conquer the world.
Getting started is the first track today. Building Python Flask APIs in Google Colab. A talk by Shweta Mishra, software developer at Tata Consultancy Services.
My talk is based on building Flask-based application in Google Colab. Basically, you will get to know how to write Flask program without needing to install any libraries or dependencies in your local system.
Deploying a simple Python app in Kubernetes/OpenShift is the next talk by JJ Asghar, developer advocate at IBM.
I'm going to be presenting on deploying a simple Python application to Kubernetes or OpenShift. I'm actually going to be doing it specifically to OpenShift, and I'm going to set up a true CD pipeline all within the 20-30 odd minutes of my talk. So hopefully you'll come out learning something and understand the power of cloud native for your downstream uses. I'm excited. I love this talk. I actually try to get to the demo as quickly as possible. So y'all have a good time. See you around.
The next track today is machine learning. Milecia McGregor, developer advocate at Iterative, will show you how to use reproducible experiments to create better machine learning models.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about using reproducible experiments to create better machine learning models. So feel free to reach out to me personally on Twitter at FlippedCoding if you have any questions, or if you want to get in touch with the whole DVC team, feel free to reach out to us on Twitter at DVC.org.
Strategies for working with data as it grows. Please join me in welcoming Marco Carranza, the co-founder of TeamCore.
The objective of this talk is to view alternatives for processing data using different types of technologies and data frames. First, we will take a look to different techniques to keep Pandas memory usage under control. Then we will take a look in how we can vertical scale our Pandas loads using Jupyter notebooks. Next, we will learn about this amazing Python library, Bayx. Then we will try modding so we can speed up our Pandas code with a minimal change in our Python source code. And finally, we will take a look to PySpark and understand in which cases it's a great alternative.
Security track is the next one today. Minimum viable security for Python applications is the next session by David Melamed, co-founder and CTO of JIT.
Building a Python application and deploying it to the cloud has never been easier, thanks to technology improvements like containers. And therefore, more and more teams creating microservices are following the same pattern. You build it, you test it, and you run it. But what about you secure it? It's undoubtedly a daunting task, and most people don't know where to start. In this talk, I will show you an approach that will help you add minimal viable security to your application from day zero. I will demo a fast API-based application and how to monitor it continuously using 5 critical security controls: static code scanning, security detection, dependency check, API security scanning, and a custom control that I will write to look for GitHub users that did not enable MFA in their account. So don't miss my practical session and improve your security right away.
In the next talk, Radu Vunvulea, Group Head of Cloud Delivery at Endava, will tell you why COVID-19 is a cloud security catalyst.
We'll talk about security, about cloud security, and how the last 1 year, 1 year and a half impacted the way how cloud and how security is taken into consideration by the organizations that are moving to cloud.
Why attackers in code packages are getting a pass. Find out with Tzachi Zornstain, Head of CX Dastico at Checkmarks.
Today I want to talk about open source. Everybody is using open source. It helps developing product faster, and anybody can contribute code to an open source project, which is a big part why this ecosystem is so successful. Coming from a cyber background, I ask myself, do attackers contribute code as well? Well, the short answer is yes.
Filipi Pires, cybersecurity evangelist at Senha Segura, will introduce you to malware hunting.
Today we're going to talk about malware hunting using Python as an attack weapon.
Security considerations in Python packaging is the next exciting talk by Gajendra Deshpande, founder and managing director at ISEC Cybersecurity Solutions.
We know that Python has reached the top position in TOB programming language index, and the same popularity has brought it into the eyes of or in the vicinity of hackers. They are injecting the malicious code into the Python packages, or even developing malicious Python packages. So as a developer, it becomes important for us to identify the security vulnerabilities in the Python packages. So to do that, we are going to see 3 tools. One is the Bandit, second one is the Safety, and third one is the SemGrep. And finally, we will discuss the guidelines for secure coding practices. Thank you.
In the last security talk, Joshua Arvin Lat, CTO of Newark's Interactive Labs, will address pragmatic security automation in the cloud with Python.
Hi there. Excited to be here. And I'm going to talk about pragmatic security automation in the cloud with Python. So see you there.
The deep dive track starts with Andrew Knight, developer advocate at Applitools. Please join in to learn how decorators function.
Have you ever seen those @ on top of Python functions? Maybe you've seen them on top of classes and methods too. Those are called decorators, and they're one of Python's niftiest language features. Decorators are essentially wrappers. They add new code around existing code. When used properly, they can clean up your code better than OxyClean. So today, let's learn how they work.
Financial network analysis using Python is the next session by Kalyan Prasad, Data Science and Analytics Manager at Creative Cruise.
As we all know that the best part of any conference is all about networking. Either it can be a physical conference or a virtual conference, we all love to do networking. We all love to talk to people. We all love to share our experiences, and we see our insights or input from other people. That's how the friendship, networks, or our contact builds. Technically, this is known as social networking in network science. Then what about financial networks? Have you heard about it? Do you know how financial network works? Do you know how the evolution of financial network came into the picture? If this sounds interesting and you're curious to know all this stuff, then you should join my talk at Conf42 on January 27th, where I'll be talking about all these points during my talk. I'll see you all there. Thank you.
Advanced ensembling techniques for time series forecasting is the topic of the next talk. Introducing Pawel Skrzypek, CEO of Onfalus Fund, and Anna Warno, data scientist at 7bulls.com.
Today with Anya Warno, we'll tell a little bit more about the time series forecasting. We will focus on advanced ensembling methods. As you probably know, we are working with the time series for quite a long time. using the most advanced method. And today we want to briefly tell about ensembling. So why the ensembling is important, why to use the ensembling, how the ensembling is used by the leading forecasting methods. I will start with the brief introduction with some slides to introduce the topic and to provide a little bit of theoretical background, and then Anya will make a hands-on session and present the different ensembling methods, the results on the real data sets. The methods has been prepared by her, so it's a very interesting and unique approach for the ensembling.
Moshe Zadka, principal engineer at Palo Alto Networks, is here to talk about Python sidecars.
I will be talking about Python sidecars. That's how you can extend a container in any language with Python to take advantage of the things that Python can do really well in this magical new world of Kubernetes and containers. So I hope to see you there.
Low overhead Python applications profiling using eBPF is the next session by Yonatan Goldschmidt, principal engineer at Granulate.
Hi everyone. I'll be talking about Python application profiling with eBPF. Thanks for joining.
Let's join Gil Zilberfeld, wizard of testing at Testing Gil, to learn how to make test-driven development work in legacy code.
We're going to talk about the principles of test-driven development. What does it mean? Can it be applied in legacy code, not just new code? Yeah, of course it can. I worked with that. So I'm going to show you examples of how it looks like, and the thinking about taking the principles of TDD, how to apply it to real code that we have, not just calculator examples that you'll see on the internet. So join me on Conf42 on the 27th. Thank you.
Education track is the next one today. How to use Python to create better math lessons. Introduced by Jeronimo Medina Madruga, IT technician at Universidade Federal de Pelotas.
My master thesis is in the field of mathematical education at the PPG-MAT program in the Federal University of Pelotas. My research is on how to use programming to teach math to teams. And at this moment, I have already read articles, papers, books, and theses from all over the world, trying to comprehend all the possibilities that technology may add to the classroom. This talk will be very light-hearted. It won't be very technical because there is so much to talk in such a short time that I think that if I went too deep in one or two tools, we would miss the whole universe that is around it.
Tiago Bacciotti Moreira, professor of the Information Systems at UEMG, represent Python as an object-oriented programming teaching tool in the Information System course at the State University of Minas Gerais.
I will be talking about how I am using Python to teach object-oriented programming on a small university here in Brazil. So I think we will have a good meeting, we will have a good talk, and I am waiting for you. Thank you very much. See you.
It's time for the tools track. Building a real-time analytics dashboard with Streamlit, Apache Peanut, and Apache Kafka is the next topic addressed by Mark Needham, developer relations engineer at Startree.
I'll be showing how to build a real-time analytics dashboard based on a stream of the recent changes in Wikimedia. We'll be using Streamlit, Apache Pinot, and Apache Kafka, and it's going to be a pretty code-heavy talk, so there'll be lots of Python for you to enjoy. I hope you can join us.
Shai Almog, developer advocate at Lightrun, will now talk about the Polyglot Cloud Native Debugger, going beyond application performance management.
Today we're going to discuss Polyglot Cloud Native Debugging beyond APM and logs. In this talk, I will introduce you to the concept of continuous observability in Python and other languages, how you can use that to get deeper insight into your production environments and fix issues in production. See you there.
For the next lecture, please join me in welcoming Yshay Yaacobi, co-founder and CTO of Lifecycle.
Today I'm going to talk about self-contained development environment, how we can make it much more easier to
run a project and do like the onboarding and make sure that developers always have like great experience when working on this project.
The culture track is the last but definitely not least today. Aman Sharma, the co-founder and CTO at Twimbit, will explain how to use data to make your customer lives better.
One key problem that I see at my startup day to day is the problem of finding insights out of data. Now, well, this seems to be an ordinary problem, but what I associate this problem is with that you have a lot of data, but you can't find insights of it. Well, that kind of inspired me to deliver this talk to you, which is named as Data Everywhere and No Time to Think. In this presentation, we will discuss about the common problems that startups see day to day and how there could be different solutions and approaches to solve these problems.
The conference closes with Fighting the Imposter Syndrome, a great lecture by Mihailo Joksimovic, head of JD Platform Development at Jagger.
Funny thing about imposter syndrome is that so many of us have no idea what it is or how it affects us. And as such, once it comes, and trust me, this enemy always comes, we kind of tend to go in a state of complete chaos, running for our lives and pretty much losing ourselves. And I think that's stupid. And the reason that it's stupid is because just by learning more about it, you could be way more prepared for it. And such that once it comes and once it attacks, you already have your defense prepared. And that's pretty much what this talk is all about. So join me in this talk where we will discuss more how to effectively fight against the imposter syndrome. Thank you very much and hope to see you there.
This is all we got for Conf42 Python 2022. Hopefully you'll find some useful insights and tools to make your life easier. As always, free RSVP unlocks all the content. Please stay tuned for the keynote right after the premiere ends. Please feel free to join the Discord server to ask questions, meet speakers and other attendees. Before you get there, make sure to read the code of conduct. Once again, a big heads up to our speakers, partners and sponsors for making this conference possible, and to you for attending. I hope to meet you in a minute on Discord, as well as in the upcoming Conf42 events. That was Mark. Stay safe and have an excellent time at Conf42 Python 2022. Cheers!